Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. I am Dioze. With me is Zamario, and we're here to talk about Grand Theft Auto 6. News broke earlier today that we're going to be getting a female protagonist for the first time in the series history, which is pretty cool. And it's also in Vice City, which is pretty cool. But apparently, people are pissed off over the fact that GTA 6 may be going woke. And Zam, what do you think about all this?
I think it's going woke and conservative at the same time. It's definitely touching both bases from what I've started to gather. Um, I like vulgarity. I
Right.
like taking the piss
And
out
my
of
phone
everything and
rings.
everybody when done right. I like making fun of every demographic you can think of, but tastefully and artfully at the same time, not just for the sake of it. Like one of the good things about some of the
Oh,
comedy we got
I think
in.
Zam froze on us, folks.
I'm still here.
Okay. Zam, come back. Uh oh. We lost him. That kind of thing happens on
No,
stream,
no.
folks. Oh,
Hello, can you
he's
not hear
back.
me?
Yep. Now he's
I'm.
back.
Oh, can you not hear me?
Oh, you froze for a second.
Okay. What I'm trying to say is that when it comes to some of the humor within GTA, whether whatever demographic is taking the piss out, it's done in a way that is artfully very funny. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and so I want that to remain. If they can't do that, then they need new writers, so to speak. But we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, you want to know what I want to see? I want to see Grand Theft Auto get less serious. I want it to go back to when it was crazy, when, like in San Andreas, you could have jetpacks, you could work out, you could beat people up with a dildo, you could do like all random kind of things. That's what I want to see when it comes to Grand Theft Auto. But yeah, people are like, oh, GTA is going woke. It's like, guys, they've been done this because for those that don't know, in GTA 5, they took out like transphobic jokes, they took this out, they took that out, so Rockstar I think is going in a more woke direction, but that doesn't surprise me. Video gaming in general is kind of headed that way. Saints Row's going the same way. It looks like with this reboot, and people are now getting upset about it. It's like this is the way gaming has been going for the last decade, in my
Well,
opinion.
just as somebody who needs to counter that, at the end of the day, I'm more of the type of person who likes to see people who are already downtrodden not to get downtrodden anymore. But once again, at the same time, I do like my humor to be done right. So if they are going to make transphobic jokes, do it the right way. Like
Hmm.
don't put them in the same sort of same sort of category as maybe the Ku Klux Klan. Because they're nothing like them. They're just people who are different. Rip
Right.
on the Ku Klux Klan by all means. Rip on the trans people by all means, but just do it right. That's all I give a fuck about. I mean?
Hmm.
Don't
Right.
subjugate them. Don't make them come across as evil. Just take the piss out of them, in the
Yeah.
right way.
you
Yeah,
know, do it but
yeah,
make it funny. Yeah, that's what we want to
yeah.
see happen. And yeah, I very much am looking forward to GTA 6. The one thing that I know they're going to do, even though I know I don't want them to do it, I know they're going to do it. They're going to milk the fuck out of this, and it's going to come out on like fucking 5 consoles afterwards, just like they did with Grand Theft Auto 5. It came out for fucking PS3, then the PS4, now the PS5, and then it'll probably be out for the PlayStation 6. I'm like, oh my God, Rockstar, how many more times are you going to milk this? And,
It's gonna.
how many
It's
more
been
times
like
are you going to milk online?
GTA 5 came out like 10 years ago now.
Hmm.
It's unbelievable, and we've had. I think Rockstar is basically they've lived off their reputation for a long time now, and I don't think they have that reputation like they once did. They
No.
really were like as far as people were concerned, they were the marquee video game company, and when they made something, you'd have to get it. Even the other stuff like Bully and Max Payne and stuff like that.
Hmm.
They make it, you get it. But this time around, I personally think Red Dead Redemption 2 was a failure in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a boring game. Like people were calling it boring, and I was kind of like insulted by that because I thought, oh, you just don't understand what it means to be in the Wild West. Well, in the Wild West in Red Dead Redemption 2, it is fucking boring, and they were right. Red Dead Redemption 1 is far more entertaining than Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah, because you
So
know what I think they did? I think they lost the fun. Somewhere along the way, I think Rockstar said, you know what? Okay, we're going to be more serious. We're going to lose like the crazy physics. Like I remember in Red Dead 1, you could turn on like unlimited stamina and you could like ride around forever and just blast people. Nowadays, you can't really do that in Red Dead 2. It's just not the same. It's like, yes, Red Dead 2 is visually impressive, but it doesn't really feel as awesome as everyone says it was in the beginning. And now, I don't know if you heard too, Red Dead Online has kind of gotten nerfed and they're kind of done with it. They're not really supporting it anymore. And I guess the Red Dead community is pretty pissed off about that, that online is not getting the love that it needs to get.
Yeah, that's once again that's Rockstar's like problem with making a game that unfortunately is a little bit, and this is my problem with games being too realistic.
Mm-hmm.
It's too realistic. Like you have to eat all the fucking time and sort your horse out and sleep and all this sort of shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's ridiculous. Like some of the stuff you have to do, and then doing petty jobs for like a couple of bucks, and it doesn't feel rewarding. And what you do just feels stupid anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not a very interactive, fun game to do stuff. It's really you want to be a fucking cowboy. You want to
Yeah.
be robbing banks. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Hiding out from the but because of the redemption side of things, you don't really get to do that.
Do you
You know what I
wish
mean?
they
You got
do you wish
you
they
go
would
on.
have do you wish they would have left it alone after Red Dead 1? Cuz looking back I kind of do
No,
like,
no. I just
oh
wish they
okay.
made a better game. I
Yeah.
just wish they, like, I want to be heisting, robbing trains, and just all that sort of stuff. Like what it means to be an actual cowboy. We're
Mm-hmm.
too often we're kind of like lawmen getting bounties and shit like that. I want to be
Right.
a fucking cowboy. I want this to
Yeah.
be, people saying this isn't GTA in the Wild Wild West. Well, to a degree, it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to a degree, it should be like we should be doing all the sort of GTA style things, but in the Wild Wild West, all the criminal activities.
Yeah, you
We're
should
not
be
doing
able to
that.
go and rob stagecoaches. Like you should be able to go and rob
Yeah,
banks and like it's like, yeah, you could kind of sort of do that in Red Dead 2, but the physics just aren't fun. Like that's the
yeah.
thing. Like ever since Grand Theft Auto 4, I think they kind of sold out even back then cuz I could remember in GTA 4 it just was like it felt okay, but once I beat it, it was like I never really picked it back up again. Compared to
Yeah.
San Andreas is almost 20 years old. I still pick up and play it. Like I could still go back and play the PS2 version and still do crazy things. You
San
can't really
Andreas
do that now.
is a great game, but unfortunately for me, the dating of it just makes it very unappealing for me nowadays. But nevertheless, at the time it was a game everyone talked about. It was a
Hmm.
hidden gem really, but it kind of came out of nowhere, and then
Hmm.
this everyone started playing it. Anyway, let's look at this particular article. We need to stick to GTA 6.
Yeah.
So this is something I Jose passed on to me. I'm going to read this article to you. It says report GTA 5 co-stars a woman will be
6.
a woman, sorry, GTA, sorry, 6 co-stars a woman will be more culturally sensitive. Okay, now you have to understand this is like more to do with the designers trying to maybe incorporate more people to be to buy this particular game, but
Hmm.
you know what? Even the very people who you may be trying to want to get this game are the people you're going to end up turning off, because there are honestly there's loads of lefties and liberals and woke people and all that shit who love GTA the way it is.
Yeah, you
Honestly, they
don't need to
really do.
change it.
You
Hmm.
don't need to fucking change it. I'm very happy they brought a woman into it, because why the fuck not? You know what I mean? But getting rid the whole point about this game is it's gangsters and and all of that sort of stuff. It's violent, it's seedy,
Yeah.
it's not nice, and people like it for that,
Yeah, because
So yeah.
Rockstar back then they went after everybody. They went after Italians, they went after Jewish people, black
hmm
people, all kind of shit. And now you want to
Indian
be
people.
yeah,
Yeah.
and now you want to be culturally sensitive. It's like, what the fuck?
I don't know what year this is going to be set in this particular game, but let's read this article. So, Rockstar's Grand Theft Auto 6 is one of the most anticipated games ever. Despite the hype, this year has been incredibly tight-lipped for almost a decade now. But a
Mhm.
new report by Bloomberg offers big new details, including that the game will feature the series' first ever playable woman protagonist. According that alone, by the way, is gonna, for some reason, in my opinion, it's gonna piss off a lot of neckbeards.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
neckbeards right now are being like, "Ah, rah, 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 we can't have that. Rah, rah, rah." I'm like, personally, I've wanted this since the PS2 days, to tell you the truth.
There's been women in video games for a long time. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, Lara Croft was one of the earliest ones, and there's been a lot of female characters ever since.
Hmm.
Chung Li and all that shit. Anyway, according to Bloomberg, GTA 6 will star a pair of characters loosely inspired by the infamous robber duo Bonnie and Clyde. The female character will be Latina, and the game's story will take place in a fictional version of Miami, Florida, and its surrounding areas. Rockstar declined to comment. So yeah, that's Vice City, isn't it, Miami?
Yep.
Okay. And the last Grand Theft Auto GTA 5 came out back in 2013. I mean, when we were seeing clips of GTA 5 back in 2011, I remember. You know
Hmm.
what I mean? You know, so we had to wait. Once we saw a glimpse of GTA 5, we waited 2 years for the fucking game to come out.
Hmm.
And was recently ported to the latest generation of consoles, becoming the second best-selling game ever in the years since. Yeah, GTA 5 has been on three different generations of consoles. Been on the, I mean, for argument's sake, the PS3, the PS4, and the PS5. It's
Hmm.
crazy. Bloomberg reports that GTA 6 has been in development in some shape or form since 2014, but that progress
Mm.
was slower than originally expected due to a range of factors, including new commitments to more sustainable work schedules and some key high-level departures. Dan Houser, creative director on many previous games, left in 2019.
Oh
That's the
shit.
case.
Okay, that I did not know. This could suck. Because Dan Houser, he was really fucking good when it came to like San Andreas. That was his best work that he ever did.
No doubt, but you know, he if he was involved in the game in any capacity, he would have been involved in it for a good 5 years, hopefully. So,
Hmm. Hopefully,
let's
he'll
hope.
get to still feel his influence. But
Yeah, hopefully. As a result, the game is now planned to come out sometime before March 2024. Some
bullshit.
developers, some developers told Bloomberg they're still skeptical that date can be hit. Bloomberg reports the game map was originally planned to encompass huge swaths of North and South America, but Rockstar dialed back those ambitions and instead plans to add more areas and cities post-launch. There's another article here which I won't read. This is reportedly all in keeping with attempted culture shift at the company. Shortly before the release of Red Dead 2 in 2018, Kotaku reported on brutal overtime at the famed studio. There have been allegations of abusive behavior as well, including against former VP of Development Jerome Geronimo. I can't,
Dr-
Geronimo?
yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
Geronimo. Sorry, Geronimo
Barrera.
Barrera. So yeah, I mean that's different overall. Like you know the practices of the hierarchy treating the developers like shit is something
Hmm.
we've known for a long time right now, and unfortunately Rockstar has been part of that contingent of um, corporations and game creators to be doing that to their staff. Bloomberg reports that in addition to trying to improve working conditions internally, the studio is also trying to be more culturally sensitive, especially since American culture has become, as this article puts it, a parody of itself in modern times. That is the truth. I mean,
They're not wrong there. So yeah, I can't. Yeah.
I have to say, look, as somebody who rips on your country quite a lot, and as somebody who's on the outside looking in, I mean, when I see your country today with the Trump effect and QAnon and all these conspiracy theorists, all these fucking, oh, like you got people who don't even want to do reality anymore. It's absolutely fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, and obviously the reversing of Roe v. Wade as well. So
Oh yeah.
anyway, GTA games parodies of American culture dialed up to 11 have been criticized in the past for their misogynistic treatment of women and offensive jokes that targeted marginalized communities. A playable female lead is apparently part of trying to address that. I'm glad they have a playable female lead, but honestly,
Why
they take
change
the
it?
piss out of everything.
Yeah, they
You know,
take
what I
the
mean,
piss out of everybody. Why did
every,
you feel you need to change it? Like that's
you
what I
know,
don't understand. Because it's like you've done this all this time. You've
yeah. I
taken
mean,
the piss
people.
out of women ever
This
since 2001 when they could talk.
this game has been the way it is, because it's just so bloody popular, and it's like story wise, character wise, people love it for what it is. They know that you're not pulling your punches. They totally understand that, and it is an exaggeration of American culture in the day.
Yeah.
So I don't understand that. Anyway, for now, though, it's worth noting that we may already be seeing more of the changes that come with a kinder culture. The next gen port of GTA 5 had some transphobic content quietly removed for the re-release. What was it which was transphobic in GTA 5?
God, I don't even remember because it's been so damn long. I'd have to go back to the PS4 version and see if they edited that out.
And as I said before, I have no problem with them making transphobic jokes, but just don't demonize transphobic people. There's a difference. You can make fun of them, just don't demonize them as them being evil. There's a difference. That's all I
Yeah,
give a
you
fuck
could make.
about. The
Yeah,
Yeah,
Rockstar, you could make light of everybody. That's what they do.
yeah.
They're the best at what they do when it comes to that. But it's like if we're going to be culturally sensitive now, it's like you kind of are showing me that's like okay, you're kind of selling out like you did with Grand Theft Auto 5. If you're going to go after people, go after people, but pick a side. It can't be one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
That's my view on
Bloom,
it.
yeah. Bloomberg also noticed that a police-centric mode called "Cops and Crooks," first reported by Kotaku, apparently ceased development due to the murder of George Floyd. Are you
Oh, okay.
serious? I
Hmm.
mean, people don't correlate these things. Like for instance, like because of the recent school shootings in America, there was an episode of Obi-Wan Kenobi where we saw some younglings getting killed,
And
which
didn't
is
they
just
do
like
like a graphic before that?
well, they did. They mentioned because of like some people find certain things, insensitive or a bit disturbing, and that's because they're correlating the kids being killed in this show to the
Ah,
kids that have been killed in real life. But honestly, until they mentioned it, I wasn't even thinking about it.
they did
You
the
know what I
same
mean?
thing with Stranger Things too when we reviewed that. I forgot to mention that they did the same
Yeah,
exact thing.
but it was all those kids who died at the beginning of season 4, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah, and initially you think it's 11, then you realize it's one. Um,
Hmm.
Earlier this month, Rockstar announced that its beleaguered Red Dead Online spin-off wouldn't get any more big updates as the studio pivots all of its resources to shipping GTA 4, 5. Sorry,
6.
Kotaku. Oh, sorry, 6. Yeah, those bloody Roman numerals always catch me out.
Yep.
Kotaku reported earlier this month that remasters of GTA 4, that time I got it right, and the first Red Dead Redemption were also shelved to put more focus on the upcoming blockbuster. I
Okay,
don't
then that
mind that. I
that
don't
means
mind
they're
that
gonna
because
do it. They're gonna do remasters, but it won't be until well after GTA 6 comes out.
honestly, we've played those games. Just having a graphical touch up ain't shit for me.
They did
You know
that
what I
with
mean?
Last of Us too. I'm like, okay, and they have the nerve to charge $70. But back on topic. Yeah, Grand Theft
Yeah.
Auto
So
6. Okay, so you're
this is
gonna
a
be
great image, by the way.
yeah.
So is it just two playable characters? Is it two female leads or?
I wouldn't be surprised if they go that route because they did that with Michael, Trevor, and Franklin in GTA 5. So I think they're going to do the same thing. You'll get to play as probably 2 or 3 female protagonist characters.
This is a great. I mean, this picture just epitomizes like the sort of imagery and artistry I see for GTA games and stuff like that. And
Hmm.
yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing here. But overall, I just want it to be a good game, Jose. You
Yeah,
know,
I say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's kind of my message to Rockstar. I'm like, if you're going to go after everybody, go after everybody. Don't
I
pull any punches.
I just
But
don't want it to be like Red Dead 2, where
the
speaking to
physics,
Ginger Greek,
yeah,
he was going on like in this game you have to pay your fucking taxes and pay your bills and all that sort of
I don't
shit. I'm
want
like,
that.
no,
Yeah, I don't
I
want
don't
that.
want that. I already
Mm-mm.
do that in real life. I come to games to escape all that shit. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I don't want my character needing sleep. I don't want my character needing food.
Or if you're
Yeah,
gonna
I
do
mean,
something, like do it like Saints Row 2 did, where it's like, okay, yeah, we need to bring down the property values of this town. So you get a fucking sewage truck and you just start spraying shit everywhere. Like do something like that. Like I want to see shit be destructive. I want to blow shit up. That's what I want to do in GTA 6. I want to destroy things. I want to, not only be able to blow cars and gas stations up, I want to be able to blow shit up. I want to be able to create havoc and chaos in Grand Theft Auto 6, and I don't think we're going
what
to
was
get
the
that.
name of that? It wasn't Yakuza. Those Yakuza games. Have you played those?
Hmm. Yeah.
I want some of those elements from the Yakuza games in GTA where you can go into buildings and go bowling and
Hmm.
all these sort of things. Like, I want to have a more interactive world.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing worse than having buildings you can't fucking enter,
And
or
there's
some of them.
and there's
Yeah,
still no way in hell you'll be able to model them all. It's like you got all the modern technology to do that, but the thing I don't like about Grand Theft Auto in general is like there's this big ass fucking map, and you can walk into maybe these like maybe five buildings. There are five different buildings, like ammunition, a clothes store, and a fast food place, and maybe a car shop. And that may be about as good as it gets. It's like, come on, Rockstar, open up your minds.
yeah, and a convenience store. That's
Hmm.
which is just there to be robbed.
Yeah.
You know, exactly. Yeah, I want. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we are talking about a game that was made during the PlayStation 3 era, so fair enough. Even though we're in PlayStation 5 era now, I
Hmm.
can totally understand why they weren't able to do that then. I expect them to do that now.
Yeah, now we need
Yeah,
more accessible buildings. We want to be able to walk into like a convenience store. We want to be able to walk into like an arcade and maybe play arcade games.
the
We want to
shopping
go,
mall.
yeah, we want to go shopping. We want to go, I want to be able to go into a car dealership and maybe, okay, the one real world thing you could do, buy a car and then, take it out the lot and do stupid shit. I want to be able to see crazy, stupid physics in GTA 6, but I know we're not going to get that because we got to make everything more serious and we have to make the physics more realistic, and I don't want that. I want everything to be over the top, and that's at least my hope
Exactly.
for Saints Row when it comes out next month, because I'm looking forward to Saints Row. I just don't want them to fuck it up, and I don't want them fucking up Grand Theft Auto 6.
Yeah. I mean, they've left themselves a lot to do with this particular game after what came out previously, and
Hmm.
they've got a lot of repair work to do as well because people are kind of upset with. I mean, their last game was was Red Dead Redemption, and it just wasn't good enough. It was too realistic. And I just don't want that in this game. I really don't want that in this game. I want to have fun. I want to
Yeah,
have lots of fun.
yeah. If
Yeah.
you want to be able to spend just hours just driving around, shooting shit, blowing shit up, Grand Theft Auto 6 needs to be that game. It needs to be over the top. It's time to go back to that.
I would also limit things down as well. Like, you remember when you have the weapons wheel? That
Hmm.
was ridiculous. Like, you get lost in all those fucking guns.
I'd go
I'd
back to
limit
L2 and R2. Yeah.
just two guns, one
Hmm.
handgun, maybe three at the most. A hand, but then again, if you have a handgun and two holstered weapons, or two like big like main weapons, people hardly ever use the fucking handgun.
Yeah.
So either a handgun and a main gun, or something along those lines. Like, yeah,
Or you could do what you did in Vice City in San Andreas, where you put in a certain cheat code. And if you put in a certain cheat code, okay, one set would be Molotovs in your basic handgun. And the most advanced would be like a Magnum and a Gatling gun, shit like that. Give us a variety, like San Andreas had. That's also what I want to see
yeah.
out of Grand
But
Theft Auto 6.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You could still have like a lot of guns.
Hmm.
I mean, that is the American dream to have loads of fucking guns, and I wouldn't want that not to be in GTA. But you can only carry two.
Yeah.
That's a level of realism I would want. Because honestly, sometimes when you got a carousel of fucking guns, it's ridiculous. I mean,
Hmm.
it's more than you fucking need. Yeah,
And I want to be able
yeah.
to see, like, okay, when you fight the cops, I want to be able to see the spike strips take the fuck out of the tires too, because we've never had that in a Grand Theft Auto game. It's like, oh, it flattens your tire, but it's like, I want to see your tire fucking deteriorate to where your car can't even move. If you're gonna do realistic shit, like I'm like, give me that.
Well, some of the things in GTA in San Andreas, like I want to see my like if my guy he had a diet of McDonald's, I want him to turn fat.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? If he goes to the gym, I want him to
get
be
buff as
fit.
fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, and all of those sort of things, and that way, like, you can like train your guy on a treadmill or whatever to be a faster runner. So
Hmm.
because like there is an even capacity, so to speak, in how people move and stuff like that, and I think the physics need to change a little bit.
Yeah.
Like if you're, like I think certain people should be, if you're healthy, you should be a better climber and stuff like that.
And
But
yeah, if
maybe
you're
if you,
fat, you're gonna
yeah,
have a tough time doing shit. Like that would be if they're gonna go the realistic route, they need to put that back from San Andreas. Be like, okay, yeah, if you want, if you want to be able to make the game a little easier, you have to be fit. You have to be in shape. If you're gonna have a tougher time with it, you got to be fat and you got to be able to barely walk. I'd like to see those kind of physics take
I, w- I,
effect.
w- I would like to see some sort of bonuses in being fat. Like you could have like, hot dog eating contest.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? You need to be a fat fucker to do it.
Yeah, do some crazy shit. Yeah, like if you want to, enter like a Python contest, you got to be fat, and like first prize would be like a car that you could only get by winning this contest. Shit like that would be kind of cool. And then like if you did like a triathlon and you got another car, you'd have to be in shape to run this like 20-mile triathlon. Shit like that for the mini games would be kind of cool.
Exactly. I would like maybe some more mechanics with the fighting and stuff like that. Like if you are fat, then maybe one you can squash somebody or throw, something along those lines. Yeah, there's just, I mean, my mind can't think of every concept right now, and I know when if I end this stream, a whole bunch of ideas will come
Are
to
gonna
my
come
head.
out.
But
Yeah.
yeah, but there is so many ways you can go with this game. Saints Row had some really good ideas. At the same time, I think Saints Row went too much on the crazy.
Yeah, they
You
went
know what
too
I mean?
over the top. Saints Row 2 was fucking perfect. I'm like, that's what we need. We need Saints Row 2 to come back in this one. Because if you gave me like a combination of like maybe Saints Row 2 and Saints Row 3, that would be damn near perfect. Because Saints Row 2 and 3 are the best games of the series. And that's what I'd like to see with this one. It is more of a
I,
level on the ground type of thing instead of OP superpowers.
I saw one of my friends playing a Saints Row game, and all he was doing was flying around like Superman in a
Mm,
fucking, you know, in like a tracksuit outfit, like just jumping around and like just doing whatever he wanted to do. And
right.
to a degree, that can be fun for a little while, but then it stops being fun,
Yeah, because it
because
takes away your ability to drive the car. Like, what's the point of driving a car
oh,
when you could
invincibility or
just, yeah.
like when you're in combat and stuff, knowing that nothing can hurt you and all of that. What's the point,
I
So
don't mind that so much after you beat the game. Like, I think that should be something that you get once you finish the fucking game. Like, that would be cool. Like, okay, if you beat the game, then if you want to go back and replay missions with invincibility and shit like that, I don't have a problem with that. I don't
yeah, I
want
guess
that during. I don't want that during the main story, though.
I'm thinking more online,
Well, yeah,
so
online they shouldn't have invincibility. I would not allow that.
yeah, because this is where the game's gonna have legs. I mean, it's all good making a story mode, and damn, do I want a good story mode, because I do like one player games, and it would be nice to somehow, if you do have more than one protagonist,
Hmm.
then it would be nice to play this game co-op.
Yeah.
The story mode, that would be fun as well. Um, but the game's longevity, like GTA 5, is going to be in its online.
Yeah, and I
So
want I want the story too to have consequences. Like I want to be able to decide like okay, if I kill you, like that has to have an effect on the story somehow cuz I noticed that in GTA where it's like I didn't really feel like my choices mattered that much when I
yeah, I
played
agree.
GTA 5. So I'm like I want the story to mean something. I want to be able to kill a character and then go, "Oh shit, I kind of regret killing that said character or I kind of regret keeping that said character alive."
I totally agree. I feel when it comes to story modes and the replayability of it, your decisions should matter.
Mhm.
Like if the moment you decide to do this, like a whole different story element occurs because of it. And
Mhm.
if you did this, then a whole different story element occurs because of that. And I that's what I want from this game. I mean, considering they put close to 10 years into making this fucking game,
It better be
I
good.
I just expect a lot of depth. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? More. I mean, there's a level of depth to GTA 5. Now I'm expecting that next generation of fucking level in GTA 6. And
Mm-hmm.
I demand it. I demand it. I don't want GTA 5 in a different setting. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
because if we get that, this game's gonna suck. It's gonna flop. Like it'll be good for probably the first 2 weeks that you play it, and then you're gonna put it down and not even think about it.
Yeah, people have invested a fuck ton of money in GTA 5. If they
Mm-hmm.
want people to invest that same shit, then it's very late where I am. But if they want people to invest that same shit, which in a way I'm not condoning, but if they do, then they've got to make a game worthy of making
Yeah,
people invest
I
because
want this to be. I want this to be worth my $70 because I'm an offline player. I don't give a shit about online, but that's just me. I'm not really an online kind of guy. So I'm like, okay, there better be something for the single player people that love just playing single player and playing offline.
exactly. So that replayability, different storylines, all of that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, online obviously. I also want this game to be was it crossovers and all that sort of shit.
Yeah, cross
I want to
gen
be
kind
able,
of shit,
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
the fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're at that level now where everything should be that. It gives us a bigger pool of players to play with, so we're not always searching and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's fundamental as well. Yeah.
The one
So
thing
yeah,
I am going to say though, before we wrap up, I do want like GTA. The one thing I loved about Grand Theft Auto 4 was like when you did the free for all shit. That was fun. I want that mode to be fun as hell. I want free for all to be fun. I want to be able to go in, fucking grab a car, get two guys, and then like we just go ball over everybody. That would be the one component of online I want to see is that it actually works.
I do. Also I want as well, like the I want maybe options regarding what sort of map do you want. Do you want a map where you can see people on the radar, or do
Yeah,
you want a map where you don't? Because honestly, I prefer not being able to n- see people on the radar, and but that way they don't see me on the radar. And I
yeah,
think, yeah, it's just better that way. And seeing players dots on the screen and shit like that, it's just no fun, man. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Because I don't know if Grand Theft Auto 5 had a free for all mode, but if they didn't, put that in Grand Theft Auto 6. All you need is a free for all mode. Fuck the story. I don't want a story with online. I'm like, I want to be able to just pick a multiplayer mode, play free for all, and just spend hours just fucking people up. That would be cool.
Exactly. So when you're doing all your like missions of delivering your drugs or whatever, if you could do it, in a way that nobody can see you, then
Hmm.
it's more fun that way and all of that. And at the same time, it'd be nice to pretend that you're an NPC and all of a sudden, boom, surprise, motherfucker.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like that. That's quality. I
Hmm.
love that. Have you ever played the oh god the what's those games from Ubisoft.
Oh fuck.
The games with the hacking games. I forgot what the fuck it.
Watch Dogs.
Watch
Yeah,
Dogs. Have you
Watch
played the
Dogs.
Watch Dogs? Have you ever
Yeah,
played the Watch Dogs?
I've
You
played
know,
the first
like,
couple. Yeah, those games were
it,
fun.
but the point is that you can, when you're like hacking somebody, you have to like hide from them and
Hmm.
pretend to be an NPC and
Yeah, you
stuff
got to
like
blend
that.
in. Yep, that'd be
Yeah,
dope.
and that's really cool. I like the idea of that in GTA 6, and I
That
want some
would
of that.
be that would be a cool mechanic because okay, instead of like doing missions to just make money, you can eventually buy like a hacking tool where you put it in your phone, and then you can like do a mini game where you got to hack the person's phone, and then you can take whatever they have out of their accounts because that was one of the coolest fucking features in the Watch Dogs franchise that I
Yeah, yeah.
loved, and I'm like, I want that in this one.
I think in GTA 5 you could hide in your car, couldn't you?
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be
you could
cool
like
too.
you can tuck yourself into the car and all of
Hmm.
that sort of stuff. So yeah, there's just so many things.
Yeah,
I
we could do
wouldn't
a
even.
part two to this someday. I think we will. Closer as
Yeah,
we
for
get to
sure.
it, like
Definitely
just
after we get a fucking teaser trailer.
yeah. Once we get a teaser trailer, I think we're gonna do a Grand Theft Auto 6 wish list video, and we're just gonna bounce back and forth. That video will be fun to make too.
And one more thing, just going back to this picture here. Do you think, looking at this, you think this game is going to be set in the modern day, or is it going to be retro?
I think we're going more modern. I'd like it. I'd like to see Vice City in the '90s because I don't think they did that. I know they did the '80s, but they haven't done the '90s yet. Or maybe even the early 2000s would be kind of cool for a throwback.
Look at that. This is modern. I can just tell the guy
Yeah,
on the
it's
bald
modern.
guy.
Yep.
He's got a smartphone
Yep.
in his hand, and so that on its own makes it quite modern.
Mm-hmm.
So also,
Yeah.
just a little thing like I want to be able to steal a car and take it to a chop shop and make some money out of it.
Yeah.
That's what this game is called Grand Theft Auto. You couldn't do that in GTA 5.
Nope.
You
The
have to
most you could do is
sometimes.
take a vehicle and pimp it out, and that's it.
Well, but like Gideon or Simeon or what the fuck his name was, he
Yep.
would ask for particular types of cars, which is great if for him. But sometimes I just want to say, okay, look at that car. That car looks expensive.
Yeah.
I'm going to steal that, take it to the chop shop, and get some money. And I want that because that's fucking GTA for fuck's sake.
And
Grand
here's a
Theft Auto.
and here's a small detail too, and I don't know like if you'd put this in or not, but one of the best ideas in Saints Row 2 is when you took a helicopter or a car, when you took it back to your garage, it was there forever. Like if you could only get this vehicle this one time, I want to be able to have that kind of shit where it's like, okay, this is a rare vehicle. I know I might never see it again. If I take it back to my crib, I want it to be
Mm-hmm.
stored forever. Like that's what I want to see. Because I know they have that in Grand Theft Auto where you can only get certain cars at certain times in the game, and then you can never drive it again.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's a whole bunch of bits and bobs we want from Grand Theft Auto. Just some basic things that basically resembles the name of this fucking game.
Yeah,
Which is stealing fucking cars. We we want that. And everything else that goes with it, and then some, and we want it in the next gen style. Considering Rockstar's taking so much fucking money from us, we deserve the fucking world with a cherry on top.
yeah,
You know what I mean? We need it all. You have to give us the ultimate game.
yeah.
You
This
know,
has to surpass San Andreas because there's been nothing that has surpassed San Andreas in terms of Grand Theft Auto games when it comes to their franchise. That's the best work they've ever done. They've never topped it, and it's time that they do it. It's been almost 20 years, Rockstar. Come on.
exactly. Like you've had a lot of time. You've got a lot of people working for you. You've taken a lot of our fucking money. And give us something worthy of like a jaw dropping moment, because I don't feel gaming too often has really been innovative and changed that much. Everything feels like a first person shooter now or
Not in
whatever.
not in the last 10 years. I don't even. I think the last game, no shit, I was genuinely excited for was Spider-Man, and that was 4 years ago. I think that
Yeah,
was the
Spider Man was a
last
great
time.
game, yeah.
Yeah, that was the last time I was like, this is what the fuck gaming should be. It should be fun.
But even then, after a while, I mean, I think Morales made it better.
Yeah.
But after a while, even that became a bit mundane. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It was fun. Don't get me wrong, it was a bit fun, but it was a bit samey. You
Yeah.
know, um, with GTA, I'm expecting as much variety as possible. I want it all. Because of microtransactions and
They're gonna
monetization.
fuck it up. Yep.
Oh no, well, this gaming hasn't developed because of that. Because all corporations and gaming companies want to do is extract as much money out of us as fucking possible by
Hmm.
making games where instead of being innovative, they're making games where how do we get microtransactions? How do we,
FIFA.
all that sort.
FIFA.
FIFA, exactly, without a
FIFA.
doubt. I mean, people still fall for that. I mean, this game comes out every fucking year, and people
And it
spend and
lost
get
the
loads of money.
license.
I'm so happy that EA lost the license. I'm so happy about that. But I get angry with my friends because all I do is play pro clubs.
Hmm.
That's all I do, yeah. But I love playing pro clubs, yeah. And you need to play that with other people online and stuff like that. But there's people who spend. I hear some of the guys in my pro clubs group. They spend like £500 on fucking on Ultimate Team. It's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And it's a gambling. It's
Yeah.
gambling because you don't pay for what you get. You have to hope you get what you get.
It promotes
You know what I mean?
child gambling. Hello, EA. Hello, 2K. Fuckers.
Exactly,
Yep.
and I think it was 2K. They weren't even hiding it anymore. They
No,
were
they
making it
were
into
hiding it.
casino.
They were openly saying this is a casino and it promoted child gambling, and they did not get sued for that. It was amazing.
Well,
I'm like, wow.
yeah, exactly, because they're openly saying "fuck you."
Hmm.
When they do that, so fuck you all. I mean, we'll do what we want. We're rich, we're powerful. We'll do what the fuck we want, and unfortunately, they did. You know, so yeah. Anyways, I think we babbled on about this as much as possible. 40 minutes just chatting shit.
All I'm going to say is, parents, hide the credit cards. Yep.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And and everyone else have some discipline. Like, don't spend money on this game other than what you pay for it.
Get the base game.
Else,
Get the base game. That's about all I would say with it. I would not trust online because they're going to ruin online. That's pretty much guaranteed.
And not just that, but if you're buying some like deluxe package where you get 12 skins and an extra $1 million, like it's not worth it. It's not worth spending like $50 extra for that shit for skins. It's amazing. Like people are charging for skins.
Yep. And I'm going to say this too: buy one copy of the game. One. You don't need to buy every fucking variant that comes out because they're going to do that bullshit too. Don't do that. Buy one copy. That's all you need. One, and leave it alone.
And just going back to the skin game again, if you and somebody else and several other millions of people buy this game and they're buying the ultimate package or whatever, I think you might all have the same fucking skins, so you don't have that uniqueness anyway. Create your own fucking outfit. Be unique that way, and grind, obviously.
Yeah.
If you love the game so much, fucking grind. Yeah, don't fucking pay to win. Yeah. All right. I think we've babbled on enough.
Okay.
Thank you, Jose.
Yeah, thank you, Zam. I am DOZ101. We would encourage you guys to please like, share, subscribe, follow us on NerdTube, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, all that stuff. And we are NerdTube, the greatest YouTube channel that you've kind of maybe sort of heard of. And we are out. Thank you for watching. Peace.